Finding you and finding me. Now that I have something special, it brings out the joy inside of me. You can call whatever you want. All we need is love and me. That's the way I think it should be. You and me.
Hey beauties, so today's video features my beautiful daughter Jihan, and I'm going to be showing you how to achieve triangle parts and also how to install faux locks. This product is called O-Gel, is by Evolving Textures, and it's my favorite jam to braid with. I really think the hold and the shine is unmatched. I started off by parting the hair straight down the middle evenly, and now I'm going to part straight across ear to ear. Now I'm going to part from ear to ear again, but this time instead of across the back of the head, I'm going to go across the top of the head. At this point, you should have 6 sections. Now I'm going to take my 2 front sections and split them both in half. So I'll have 2 sections on each side of the head. Now going back to the 2 sections in the back, I'm going to combine them and split them in half horizontally instead of vertically. Here I started using that middle part that's going from the front to the back of the head as a guide for making my triangles. When I went back to the front section, I split the 2 sections on each side in half again. So now I have 4 sections on each side of the head. Once I have those parts cleaned up, I'm going to take those 2 back sections or those 2 middle sections in the back and make them match up with the rows that I'm making in the front of the head. From here, I'm just going to continue to build on my triangles. I think the most important part is getting the points to all match each other and to keep the line straight from one row to the next. That's not always possible because, as you'll see as I continue, some of my parts got a little off on the side. They weren't exactly aligning up, but that's just trial and error as you're trying to perfect something. You probably noticed that it is now a new day. When I'm doing my daughter's hair, it usually takes me a few days to complete it. I usually do the washing and the blow drying on one day. And when it comes to these locks, I started the parts. I finished the parts in 2 days. Then I think I installed all of the locks another day. And then I came back and wrapped them another day. It takes me a while to do the faux locks, number 1. And then number 2, my daughter hates to sit and get her hair done. So I have to break up the time that it takes or she will just be insufferable. And I wouldn't be able to make the video because she would sit there looking like a hostage. So look how happy she is to be done with the braiding part. So here I'm using the Bobby Boss new locks in an 18-inch. I really prefer the 14 for her, but I don't think I could find it. So here you just crochet the braid into the loop on it. And then I take the crochet hook and kind of work it up into the crochet and use the hook again to pull the braid inside the crochet. So that way you don't have to do as much wrapping. And when you're working with someone with longer hair, you might not be able to get it all through in one shot. So once I probably go about halfway up, and then I go back in and pull the rest of the braid into the crochet. The purpose of doing this is to hide the braid completely If you want it to be lazy and you tuck the braid in good enough, for some of them, you don't even have to wrap. I know when I do my own hair, I don't wrap the ones in the back. I just tuck the braid in like so. So I didn't want to for time's sake, but I just thought it was important to show one more time how I get the crochet onto the braid, because I'm not sure if I'm explaining it well enough. It might be easier for some people just to watch again. One tip for tucking the braid, if you're having problems sliding the crochet hook up into the lock, is to roll the lock backwards a little bit so it loosens up and you can get the crochet hook through. Okay, so here we are to finish up the project. I'm just using some spring twist hair. I usually just cut it in half because once you stretch it out, it gets pretty long. And I will just let you watch me put this in. So you want to wrap it a couple times at the base, but you want to make sure you're not wrapping it too tight and putting too much tension on the braid. And from there, I just continue to wrap down. You want to make sure that you're covering anywhere that the braid might be peekabooing through the crochet. Or if you didn't tuck the braid into the crochet, you want to make sure that it's not showing at all as you wrap. So at the bottom, if you stretch it out, you just want to keep wrapping until you can't wrap anymore. And I just use the smallest amount of nail glue, and you want to make sure that you're way down past the person's hair so they don't end up having to cut nail glue out of their real hair. So here again, I'll just be quiet and let you guys watch me do it one more time. So like I said, if you tuck the braid good enough, you don't really have to wrap the lock because you won't be able to see the braid. But I do find that wrapping them helps them look a little tighter and neater up at the root, and it helps cover up that crochet loop as well. So that's why I said if I do skip that, I only skip that step in the back where nobody can see them. Once we're all done, I just use some Shine and Jam braiding mousse and put all over and sit her underneath the dryer for a bit. And here I'm just using some Eco Styler gel to get her edges laid the way she likes them to be. And this is basically the finished product. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned a lot. Let me know down in the comments if you learned any new techniques, or if I did a good job explaining, and what you guys would like to see in the next video.